we must take greater care and responsibility for how we treat our environment and our environs.
We here at the JIS wholeheartedly support Prime Minister Andrew Holness's charge. Our safety, security and well-being are inextricably linked to how we treat the environment. So please dispose of your garbage properly. It's your favorite magazine program that's packed with news you can use. Take a look.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Monday, June 12. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says plans are far advanced for work to begin on a bypass for the city of Montego Bay. He points out that Minister Horace Chang was in China last week working to secure the financing to construct the road.
We agree that the city has outgrown the infrastructure and it is becoming a limiting factor now, the infrastructure. We expect that building the road will free up Montego Bay and make it far more easier for citizens to navigate the city. And open up new corridors for residential and commercial building.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave the update on Friday at a Build Expo and conference. He said greater use of new technology in the construction industry would make housing more accessible to Jamaicans.
I believe that the introduction of technology could also bring down the price point for the housing solutions, make them more affordable. I also believe that technology can go a far way in the building process itself so that we can build housing solutions much faster.
Government is moving ahead with plans to rehabilitate the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine. Speaking with JIS News during a tour of the hospital on Friday, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said the technical work for the project would be undertaken this year.
That is to look at the facility, look at where the expansion needs to take place, the operating theatres, additional bed space, and so on, and do the necessary design for that work. And then as we move into the next financial year, we secure the funding to do the actual expansion.
The objective is to upgrade Spanish Town Hospital from a Type B to a Type A facility. As a Type A facility, the hospital would be equipped to provide comprehensive secondary and tertiary health care services and serve as one of the final referral points for public and private hospitals. Preliminary works are progressing well on the new Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade office being built at the old Myrtle Bank site on the Kingston waterfront. Overall project manager, the Urban Development Corporation, is reporting that the coastal protection structure is being installed and the substructure and foundation for the annex building has been completed. The foundation for the main building is scheduled for completion by the end of June 2017, with the entire project set for completion in December 2018. The $3.968 billion project is being funded primarily through a grant from the People's Republic of China, with the Jamaican government providing funds for the coastal protection, drainage, and external works. It involves the construction of a main office building consisting of 11 floors and a 2-floor annexed building that will be used for dining, entertainment, and other ancillary facilities. The Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, has officially launched its dual apprenticeship and internship program, which will be globally certified. The program, which will offer internship in Germany for CMU students, will initially offer apprenticeship for welders and fitters who will staff dry dock operations in Jamaica. The program is open to students studying to become seafarers and those pursuing bachelor's degrees in maritime transportation and marine engineering.
We are dedicated to bring back a national apprenticeship scheme that we all can be proud of and that our young people can tremendously benefit. And this is the sort of model.
The apprentices who are now in the program will go on to do 3 years where they will work and get academic training and a stipend.
But at the end of the day, they will be globally certified so they can be employed anywhere in the world.
The apprenticeship program is being developed by the CMU in partnership with Heart Trust NTA, the Education Ministry, German Ship Repair Jamaica Limited, and other partners. And finally, Sport Minister Olivia Grange is assuring the country that government will be following through on commitments to preserve the legacy of sprint champ Usain Bolt long after his retirement from competitive athletics.
His legacy will continue. Although he's not running on the track competitively, he will be doing things that will enhance the development of track and field. And of course, we are partnering with Usain Bolt, Team Usain, and the University of the West Indies to establish a sports sciences facility that will assist our athletes.
Minister Grange was speaking with JIS News on Saturday as Bolt bid farewell to a home crowd in the National Stadium when he ran the 100-meter salute to a legend race during the Jamaica National Grand Prix. It was his final competitive performance on Jamaican soil and took place in a culturally diverse and festive atmosphere. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
If you're watching the JIS, you're always in the know when it comes to government information. Keep watching, keep informed, and tell your friends. JIS, your #1 source for government info.
Watch as the Minister with responsibility for culture, gender, entertainment, and sport shares her plans for the 2017-2018 financial year.
My ministry is making bold, ambitious, beneficial, strategic, and impactful actions to deliver prosperity to our people. Do we value what our people create? Do we see value in the way of life and identity of our people? The draft of the revised National Culture Policy is now ready. The culture policy ensures an increase in the number of growing small and medium-sized businesses and the legitimization of all cultural and creative business activities. My ministry is also proposing amendment to the Legal Deposit Act that mandates publishers of literary, audiovisual, sound or film recordings to deposit copies of works with the National Library of Jamaica, the country's national depository. At the end of March this year, we submitted a nomination dossier to inscribe reggae to UNESCO's representative list of intangible cultural heritage for humanity. This international protection instrument will ensure that the origins of reggae and its derivatives are appropriately documented and safeguarded for present and future generations. Port Royal is the only site of its kind in the Western Hemisphere, and my ministry intends to have this site inscribed as the Caribbean's only underwater cultural heritage site on the World Heritage List. The Heritage Trust has also been mandated to undertake an urgent mapping of sites that are to be considered for protection under the Jamaica National Heritage Trust Act. And we are pleased to announce that among the list of sites being given priority attention at this time is the Blue Lagoon in Portland. For the first time, the Ward Theatre has received an allocation from central government to assist with the restoration of the ward. So by August, the facility will be restored to a level that it can be utilized for events and will play an important role in the commemoration of the anniversary of UNESCO designating Kingston a creative music city. The government of Jamaica will provide subsidies for the practitioners participating in the festival and cover the cost to secure a country pavilion where all our participants will be housed. Brand Jamaica will be on show. One of the issues that militate against the desired level of peace, harmony, and happiness in our country has to do with how we treat each other, particularly vulnerable women and men. The new National Strategic Action Plan provides for an integrated, multi-sectoral approach to addressing the key issues and challenges of gender-based violence. We are proposing in that plan the establishment of a minimum of 3 regional emergency centers within the next 2 to 3 years for women fleeing violence and unsafe living conditions. The Bureau of Gender Affairs has collaborated with the UNFPA in the development of an online platform to raise awareness on the issue of gender-based violence. Our key feature of the platform is the community section where persons can chat with others who have had similar experience in a safe, secure, anonymous space. The sexual harassment bill has already gone to the Chief Parliamentary Council and some amendments made. It is now to be sent to the Legislation Committee. It is a serious crime and we are moving to deal with it. Mr. Speaker, the urgency to extend the support to the Women's Center of Jamaica is critical and necessary. We will be taking steps this year to improve the academic component of the program so that it will be able to qualify as a complete educational institution. We want to ensure that we hit at the heart of the development of the sports sector and attend to the wellness of our practitioners of sport. The Sport Development and Monitoring Division in the ministry is conducting research on existing practices, mainly non-medical, in the area of safeguarding and protecting of children in sport. The government has developed a sustainable plan for the Athletes Insurance Scheme. A program of assistance has been made available to athletes preparing for major championships. I will be putting together a committee to undertake a review of the program with a view to coming up with a revised format which would be more structured and more inclusive. Sports tourism is the buzzword these days. It is for us to convert that into measurable economic returns. One of the ways in which we will be seeking to do this, Mr. Speaker, is to go after major international sporting and cultural activities to stage them right here in Jamaica. I will in short order be naming an international bidding committee under the chairmanship of none other than the Honorable Mike Fennell to aggressively target these events. The strategic business plan has been completed for the National Sport Museum and the review process is in an advanced stage. The establishment of the Caribbean Sport Medicine Center. The ministry is collaborating with the University of the West Indies and Team Usain Bolt to establish this center. It will be a lasting legacy for our 55th anniversary celebrations to the people of Jamaica and also a lasting legacy to Usain Bolt. The Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport wishes to advise that in the 55th year of our nation's independence, we are taking center stage in the National Trust for Job Creation, Wealth and Revenue Generation and Global Competitiveness.
I say be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister. She could be the next Prime Minister.
Sexual abuse is always a very difficult thing to confront, particularly when the alleged victim is a child. Parents, if it is that you suspect that your child has been sexually abused or is in a vulnerable set of circumstances where an abuse may occur, we encourage you to have dialogue with your child. Take the child to the pediatrician who normally attends to the child. If there is no such pediatrician, take your child to the clinic, to the hospital, to some medical practitioner who can do an assessment for you. It's very important as well that we don't just look at the physical side, but we also seek to find the kind of psychosocial support that a child may need. Does the child need a session with a counselor? Does the child need to speak with a pastor who is used to dealing with these issues? Does the child need to get that ongoing psychological support to assist with the healing process and also to assist the child in becoming strong enough, as it were, to deal with the various processes that will follow once it is that you suspect an abuse has occurred? If it is that the child actually discloses when you engage the child in discussion that, yes, mommy and daddy, I was abused, we encourage you to entertain the child, to listen to what the child has to say to you, and to take it very seriously. So we really urge you to have those discussions and to seek guidance in terms of, do I speak to the police about this, which we always say you have to, because once a child has been sexually abused, it's a criminal matter, and it means that once at all possible, the child should be assisted to go through the processes so that the perpetrator can in fact be held accountable. Support your child and let them understand in very clear terms that they are not the cause or the reason for this abuse having been perpetrated. But the most important element is to support them, get them access to the services that they need, and give them a chance to have you give them that listening ear. For these tips and of course any other information that deals with children, that is anyone under 18 years, please feel free to contact the Office of the Children's Advocate. We're at 72 Harbour Street, downtown Kingston, and our numbers are 948-1134, or website www.oca.gov.jm. Thank you.
Watch what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister, cause she could be the next Prime Minister.
The government of Jamaica is serious about protecting the most vulnerable among us. One way it's providing much needed care is through the Victim Services Division of the Ministry of Justice.
The issue of sexual assault against women and children, including rape, is a major concern for Jamaica. The government is working hard to not only put away the perpetrators of violence against women and children, but also to provide support to the victims. One organization which offers tremendous support to the victims of sex crimes is the Victim Services Division of the Ministry of Justice. Last year alone, the division provided assistance to more than 13,000 victims.
The government provides this support for victims, and it It will provide the support from the day you become a victim of crime. It will follow you through the process. If you have to go to court, it has various innovative approaches that is designed to build your capacity to go through your victimization. The court support, court orientation program of the Victim Services Division is one which has gotten the commendation of police and court officials right across this country. It has several components. Well, even before we actually get into the court, we had a phase where we provided technical capacity building for judges and magistrates across the island, prosecutors, police officers, in understanding the dynamics when a person becomes a victim of a crime. So then there is the working with court, where there's an orientation program which involves us taking particularly children to court before the court day to help them to understand the lay of the land. We actually now provide them with a sense of orientation to understand what it means to be ready for court, and we want to make clear that this is not coaching them nor interfering with the evidence and the facts of the case. This is just dealing with the psycho-emotional and the realities from, going to court back and forth. We also realized that a number of children were being victims of sex crime, and it's traumatic. And we felt we needed to bring just these victims into group counseling to be able to deal with some of the issues. We call it an overcomers program.
The Victim Services Division provides support to all, inclusive of free confidential counseling for all ages, no matter the victim's gender or sexual orientation.
It has gotten commendation from victims. We have a 95–96% rating among the persons who we serve.
Today we join the rest of the world in observation of World Day Against Child Labor. Here in Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is ensuring that our children are protected.
It's a crime with many faces, destroying the future of our children. From the handcart or market boys to those working on the farms or at the fishing village, drug mules, prostitutes or nightclub dancers, to street boys wiping windscreens. Child labor takes many different forms, which all amount to one thing.
Activities that would deprive them of their educational opportunities. It would either cause them to leave school prematurely, or they would be forced to combine both school and work.
Putting our children to work is illegal and should never be allowed. Jamaica has joined forces with other countries to prevent and stop this abuse. The Child Labor Unit in the Ministry of Labor and Social Security plays an integral role in addressing issues of child labor. Its main focus: preventing the engagement of children in work or activities that adversely affect their development.
What we would consider to be unacceptable work. Any process or any work that is morally, physically, psychologically harmful to the child.
Jamaica is a signatory to the International Labour Organization conventions which deal with the worst forms of labor. Convention 138 provides for a minimum age for employment, and Convention 182 sets out the rights of the child, a document which led to Jamaica's Child Care and Protection Act.
Subsequently, we have had several more pieces of legislation which undergirds and addresses more directly some of the issues that we would consider to be the worst forms of child labor, which would be commercial sexual exploitation and the general sexual exploitation of our children. We have signed on to the optional protocols to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and those spoke to pornographic involvement.
Under Jamaican law, no child under the age of 13 is supposed to be employed. However, between the ages of 13 and 15, they can be engaged in light work under conditions which are clearly defined by the ministry. Still, not all work is bad for children. Child labor should never be confused with normal activities or chores that may enhance their well-being. A 2002 survey showed that approximately 16,000 children were engaged in some form of economic activity. Recent inspections revealed a decline in that number, but ministry officials say there is no room for complacency. Constant monitoring, both by the authorities and the general public, is essential. Enforcing the law is critical. The penalty for putting a child to work is significant.
Persons can find themselves either before a resident magistrate, and you can be fined 500,000, or it could be both, fine and imprisonment, or a fine of up to $500,000 or 6 months imprisonment.
Labor inspectors in the ministry's child labor unit are constantly in the field, monitoring to ensure employers abide by the rules. Keeping children in school and out of the working environment is everybody's business. Currently, there are national programs such as the expanded social safety net to help parents keep their children in the classroom. And that's exactly where they belong, not on the streets or in factories in harm's way. Indeed, it takes a village to raise a child. So let's be our brother's keeper and help stamp out child labor. How?
When you identify a child that is obviously in a place where they're not supposed to be, that we take the responsibility to inquire, why are you here? If you see a child that is not attending school on a regular basis, they're somewhere else when they're supposed to be in school, it should raise a red flag that I probably should try and find out. And if you can confirm, not necessarily, but report it to the relevant authorities, that the necessary intervention can be undertaken.
Children have a right to enjoy their childhood, a right to be protected from all forms of abuse. Let's protect them. Let's protect them.
Hurricanes can strike at any time. In the event of one, be prepared to act quickly. If a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, review your home disaster response plan. Map out likely routes to evacuate if your home is at risk, and confirm with relatives or friends you plan to stay with. Also, confirm the location of the nearest shelter. Check your emergency supplies and restock if necessary. Remember, disasters do happen, so be prepared.
And that's how we close out Jamaica Magazine, but only for today. We return round about the same time tomorrow on this station. Keep the lines of communication open, like us on Facebook, add us on Twitter and Instagram. You may also visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for all things positively Jamaican. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry. Thank you for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.